Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Emily's Upcycled Home. Please shop my items with the link in the comments, and let's move on to project number one. For project number one, I am going to take this canister here that I thrifted from Goodwill, and this piece right here is from a thrift haul video. And you notice here that it does have a chip, and we're going to go ahead and fix that chip with some paper clay. And then we're going to paint this up, layer some colors, and do some IOD transfers on it. And you're going to see me go over it, trying to find the process that I like here. But we're going to go ahead and start this project. So I'm going to come in here with my paper clay, and this paper clay is from Amazon. And I'm just going to go ahead and get a little piece, and we're going to go ahead and bind that with E6000 to the chip portion of our lid here. Now I'm just going to work this piece of clay into this gap, smoothing out the surfaces on the inside and the outside, and then we're going to put that aside to dry. So this piece is a pottery piece, and I'm just working that clay in and making it smooth, and then we're going to set that aside to dry. So here's a lid with the paper clay dry, and I did come in and sand that paper clay and make it smooth to fit in with the rest of the lid. Now I'm just going to come in with this Rust-Oleum white spray paint, and then I'm just going to kind of do a pouncing method and take some of that paint off that I spray. And now this is me just kind of deciding really what I want to do with the piece, and I just work on it and work with all the paint until I like or get a direction basically of what I want this piece to be or look like. So I'm going to come in with this Rust-Oleum white spray paint, and I'm going to spray the lid, and then I'm going to spray the base of the piece, bringing in my rag and dabbing off that paint. So here's the base of the piece, and I'm going to go ahead and do the same technique on the base with the white spray paint and just come in with my rag and splotch that off. And we'll continue that for all four sides of this piece. So now that I have the first coat on of this paint and sponged it off kind of with my rag, I'm going to go ahead and add some transfers from the IOD packet that I still am using here, and I'll post that up in the corner. And I'm going to apply these transfers on the lid and probably just on one side of the container, the front side. That way you guys have different sides if you want to expose a flower or not, but it's not going to go all the way around. And I'm going to go ahead and put this on the lid, and then I'll add another piece to the bottom of the front of this jar, and then we'll go ahead and continue on. So here's our base of the piece, and I'm sorry I'm off camera here, but I'm going to go ahead and add a floral design with that same pattern onto the base of the piece. And then I go ahead and add it to the top, just where the lid hits the base, and I add a piece there also. Make sure you rub that transfer in after you have it on there just to seal it in better, and then we'll move on from there. So some of the transfer didn't stick here, so I'm going to go place this back on and just, add those pieces that didn't stick onto there. It's very easy to do that. So if this happens to you, just go back and add those little pieces that didn't adhere to your piece. And mine didn't adhere because I don't like to wait for things to properly dry. Don't make my same mistakes. Be patient with your piece and just let things dry. It's much easier, and I'm going to listen to my own advice here, hopefully in the future. So here I'm just adding that little piece of transfer to the top of the canister here where the lid meets, and that way the piece kind of trails on into the lid, and then we'll move on from there. So here's our piece with the transfers on. Now I'm going to come in here with another coat of white and just put that onto the piece. And then I'm going to go ahead and wipe off the paint where the transfer is. Here I'm just trying to go around it. And I'm using this stipple kind of brush stroke here. And I'm just going to cover that piece because I kind of want to blend it in a little bit more. And I did like the piece as is. It's just that with that chip piece on the lid, it kind of changes up the whole look. And I couldn't match the colors, and I didn't really try, but I decided to go on with this. And so here I'm just taking my rag and then wiping off around the transfer piece, and I'm going to do the same to the base of the piece. Now this piece looked like it was broken and somebody glued it together, so there was a lot of fixing going on. So I wanted to go ahead and kind of blend those pieces together a little bit better. And here I am coming in with that same white paint and going to go ahead and do all four sides of this piece. So here I'm coming in a little bit darker with that white and more full coverage to cover up those little filigree designs, and then we'll see what we do next with it. So here are our pieces dried, and I'm going to come in now with the distressed ink and my little handy little blender here, and I'm going to come in and go around all the edges and the corners and pull in where I want all this little aging of the distress inks to land. And I'm going to do that on all four sides of the piece, working that distressed ink into the piece and taking off or adding on wherever I feel it needs to be added. And that will be happening on all four sides. And then we'll go ahead and do the same thing to the lid. So now I'm going to come in here with DIY dark wax, and I'm going to go ahead and add another layer to this piece. And the dark wax will also seal our piece, so then we'll be finished after this layer, hopefully. You never know with me. But let's go ahead and add that dark wax in, and I'm just taking my paper towel here and I'm going to wipe off all the excess. Now, with some of this ceramic piece, some of that original tone is coming through a little bit. So I like that as well, especially on the top of the canister. But we're going to go ahead and just keep blending in your dark wax and wiping off, and continue that process until you like the piece here. The video is a little bit too long, so we only have one item today, but here's the finished results. Let me know what you guys think of this video and the finished product. Find my items on Macari. I'll have that link in the description, and follow me on my Facebook page. I'll have that link in the comments. See you on the next one.